Hey guys, I'm Elena Tauri, and this is Voices of Lilith. Have you ever wondered how female musicians experience the world? I myself am a vocalist, a voice coach, and a guitarist. Our metal community has grown to be a diverse and highly artistic world. So, in this podcast series, we give a voice to the female musicians which create and shape our music. We dive deep into their unique experiences so you can find a way to connect to their visions and be empowered in your actions now. Let's find new ideas, raise awareness, and stick together. Are you as excited as I am? Let's hop in. We have Anna here today, who is a skilled and very interesting musician from Russia. She is a vocalist in the industrial metal band Conflict, in the cyber metal band Theoryexx, and in the dark jazz and death metal band Dawn of Solitude. In these extraordinary genres, she vocalizes in diverse styles between screaming and chanting. So it's so good to have you here today, Anna. Welcome to Voices of Lilith.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, how are your three bands doing nowadays, and what is the Russian metal scene generally doing during this COVID pandemic?
Well, I would say that I know I'll start from my band maybe like first. There are pretty much a lot of exciting things are going on right now. We're doing new recordings for Conflict, and we decided not to take 5 years to release another album. So yeah, like my head is on fire. I'm working from home, and like I dedicate almost like all my time to music, the rest of my time. Theoryexx, well, we just issued the first album with me last year, and there are more 10 songs in my vault still.
Wow.
Yeah, we already have those songs. Like everything's limited only to myself, to the lyrics. But I asked Nate to leave some, like, to make some singles first and not like to record the whole album. Yeah, because like Conflict is waiting as well. Yeah, about the Dawn of Solitude, I recorded a couple of songs for them already. But we have some discussions about the sound, a great big discussion. So we're still thinking about the EP first, but
Sure.
we gotta decide what sound we want. I don't really. I haven't have had a thought that it will be kind of difficult to discuss the sound between those people. On example, like I want my vocal sound like this. Guys said that they're okay, but I'm not really satisfied with that. We're trying to find the common decision. Yeah, but we're still on the road. Hopefully this year we'll have this EP out, but it has a pace, so it's kind of constant search. But I'm really sure that when we find it, it will be like the last decision, and everybody is going to be satisfied.
For sure. Cool. And so, how are bands in Russia coping with the COVID pandemic nowadays?
Well, coping differently pretty much, but no one stops in recording or doing something from home because everybody has, like, I don't know, kind of laptops, like simple cameras. Pretty much everyone has instruments at their homes to make recordings, to I don't know, like I think it hasn't stopped. Even me, because
Awesome.
like when the lockdown, like everything was shut, and I was afraid of getting COVID. Um, So I decided to make a little corner in my apartment. Yeah, because I already had a microphone, like, and a, like my old laptop, and it. Yeah, yeah, like nowadays you didn't need much stuff to record for recording.
True.
Yeah, I have an old laptop. I have a good microphone, but I don't know. It's been lying in my somewhere in the corner, like getting dust on it, just dusting for I don't know for a 7 years already. 'Cause
Wow.
yeah, because yeah, we usually we like with conflict, we usually did all the stuff at our rehearsal base, so there was not such need. But then I realized that I have everything in my home. It's pretty much cheap, and um, you know I would say, like, I would say for myself, like, it became more easier to record vocals by myself because I had such experience earlier. So I just made all those stems and sent, I know, to Texas, like to an archive, like to my friends abroad. Yeah, it became really easier in such kind of processes.
Yeah, that's the beauty of, the internet and the age of digital stuff. You can share things and just record at home, and you don't have to go to a big studio anymore. So definitely agree on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and like everyone's missing festivals or gigs, whatever. We had some proposals and suggestions to go to the club like during pandemic, but we refused that because, like I said, no, like health is first. We can just sit at home a bit, even if it's a year or whatever. But everybody's going to be healthy, and we'll we'll, we'll go we'll go further and produce music and be safe and healthy. This is more important for us today.
Yeah, for sure. That's very responsible. I mean, it's a very difficult situation for every artist, for everybody at the moment. Actually, it's something completely new for the whole world. So yeah, you have to be responsible, right?
Yeah, and many bands started to make web like web-based gigs. Like in a little studio, they like put the camera on, turn the camera on, and like of course it depends on the sound quality, but it's really good decision to if you want to see your band online, not going out and with oh, you have a beer, maybe you have your close
Sure.
close friends or family near as well, like uh,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, right. And just find new ways to produce music and stay creative, even though we have this situation, right? So that's cool to see.
yeah, the only problem, of course, for those bands that are signed for the labels, because this is the only way for their income, and they
Sure.
just cannot not do it because they need to, because they need to earn money because they don't have any income and they want to eat, you know. like
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, but I find it very hard for such bands,
Yeah.
hard
And
times for such bands.
a lot of merch and CDs and stuff like that is sold at concerts, right? So it's also difficult if that is
Yeah,
gone.
yeah, but we
Oh,
gotta get used to it somehow. I don't know. So,
sure.
to survive these times.
Sure. Yeah. So your bands are doing really awesome experimental genres. Could you tell us how you guys came up with the idea to create a blend of electronic and metal music? And how do you approach your songwriting and music production?
Well, I find like the all the processes are kind of the same. There's not much difference between, like, I do music for Conflict or Theoryexx, because my own job, like my job, the main job is like lyrics, melody lines, and the whole atmosphere of the track. Um, but usually it's like, like guys doing demos. They send it to me. I'm doing lyrics or I'm doing like sketches, and then we just discuss if they like or not, or maybe they want to like An example, like I sing some clean vocals out here. They do like, okay, no, one more growls. Start give more energy, whatever. Like, and it goes pretty fast. Um, the same with Nate with Theoryexx. Well, he writes all the music. I don't touch this stuff, or but sometimes I'm just saying an example, like I would like to I don't know, like maybe I don't know, like my main influence may be like on example, like to lower the volume of synthesizers, like so the vocal could lay better or not. Or on example, I don't like the sound of this instrument, or I find it much more high frequencies out there. I find it really disturbing. And most of the time, guys like agreeing with me. And yeah, and then trying not to say like, come on, Anna, it's all okay. Like, no, we're not going doing anything. No, they're just like, yeah, they're listening to my opinion thing. Yeah,
That's great to hear.
yeah, I'm not abandoned out there, but sometimes, yeah, we have argues. An example, like in conflicts, I was like, I say, no, I want clean vocals out there, and like the three of them said,
Yeah,
no,
conflicts and conflict.
we disagree with that. Now you gotta leave growls of screams out here. I said, okay, fine. We're always searching for something new. Not very weird, but something to add something new, to add our vision to the to industrial metal.
That's great, and that's also how you grow as an artist, right? Just pick different influences and do something new. Don't always do the same.
Yeah, yeah, it's like
Creating
painting,
new ways.
you know. Yeah, you're not using like one color. You're using
Yeah,
different different
and different
yeah, different
styles.
style
Yeah,
tones, you know.
awesome. So, could you tell us a little bit more about your vocal journey? How did you start singing, and how did you progress in order to scream and be the musician that you are today?
Oh, that was a really long path, you know. Um,
Ah,
yeah, I always, when it comes to such a question, I always say about my influence, like Angela Gossov. I believe,
nice.
yeah, it's like it was in 2001, and yeah,
Yeah,
and maybe you remember the song "We Will Rise." Oh my God,
of course.
yeah. When I first heard it, I couldn't believe myself. It was so powerful, and like, oh come on, like women can do this. I can do the same. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I felt so energized and empowered. Like, and that time, like in 2000s, like um, I was listening to different genres of metal, but never saw like that women can do that. Like, you know, yeah. Yeah, this was I believe this was my main influence. I've never wanted like to grow like like you you like it's interesting idea for now. Some people say like you want to grow or scream like a man. Mm, I want to scream and growl as an expression of myself.
yeah,
Maybe,
without gender.
yeah. It's like
Yeah,
it's my colors, it's my vision. Even if my growls probably sometimes they're lower than man's, it doesn't mean that I um, have had an effort for it, or had a certain kind of movement to this. Because yeah, because an example,
I mean, it's weird that they're even comparing one to the other, right? Because every voice is different, every human is different. So why are they comparing those male and female parts, right? Like, it doesn't
yeah,
make sense.
yeah, it's like those colors on like on a painting. On example, you say like on the blue is man, oh it's just for man, like pink is for a girl. Example, they're
Yeah.
both on the painting. It looks good, you know. It's self-expression. An example, like in this kind of part of a song, I want to make it grow and very very low, but it doesn't mean that I want to sound like a man. Come on.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really weird. So yeah, and that time, yeah, I started to, growl when I went out to a club, for example, on kind of gig or on a band. Like I started to growl, I started to scream. You know, it it was really kind of natural. It, I just tried, and after that, I realized that I can do it. Do it. I can do it. And in 2004, I decided uh, to form my own band, Stentorian Voice. It was a remarkable experience, you know? Yeah, because like
Nice.
we've just started, and it was we had lots of in common, and at the same time we had a lot of arguments on, yeah, like on music. Like this was pretty much harsh, you know? We were very young. We were like, yes, some of us wanted to make, no, we want to do only metal. We don't want to do any synths. It's not kind of true, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I know that one.
no, this was so, we're so young, even not like in an age, but in like in the vision, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. And anyways, we had a lot of gigs that time. A lot of people were at the clubs that time. About over 100 or whatever. Like everybody, even for local bands, everybody wanted metal. There were not much internet out there. There were not much like, I know, we were looking for different cities on, I know, like on the marketplaces. We were craving for metal. So yeah, that was very. These were very good times. But like through the times we were evolving. Our views on our music, like there, um, because I wanted to move forward. Yeah, like I wanted to experiment in music, but guys were thinking other way. So yeah, yeah, and unfortunately we disbanded. Uh, and I don't really remember what time. I think about 4 or 5 years we were together. But these were very fun and good times. And yeah, we were even called Russian arch enemy.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
nice.
and then it was so unusual. Like like, wow, you're growing like Angela. So, because yeah, uh,
But I heard that one many times as well. Why is there always the comparison to Arc Enemy? Because, there are different females as well, so why is it always Angela Gosso?
yeah, because that time, like there were not much women on stage, and it has just only started, and nobody had an idea. Nobody like, but probably this was kind of compliment, because if
Yeah,
they're like, mm, because because like Arch Enemy is a German band, and it's kind of pretty much far away, and having the same growling woman on stage, like it was pretty fantastic, I guess. Like that, not only abroad but here in Russia as well. Well, I know I always receive it like as a compliment.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I see. Well, so you started then growling, and how did it progress from there? Like you just experimented around, or what happened after that?
Well, well, for me, it was pretty much natural, like screaming and growling, and we had lots of gigs that years, and I didn't experience any hurt or whatever. So yeah, it means, yeah, it meant like that I found the right place, right placement. Like even didn't realize that it is, but I found the right placement. Nothing hurt, no hurt with that. So I realized that this kind of techniques, like it's okay. Um, it was not. It was pretty much easy to I don't know, to lower the to make good growls and screams. But I'm a self-taught musician, so like I haven't had any teacher in music. I don't play any instrument, but this is only because I'm very very lazy. Really, I've tried many times to play guitar or a piano, but
Yeah.
come on, no.
Yeah, it takes time, a lot of time to really master this stuff, definitely.
Yeah, it's like, and I said, no, I can't. I just can. Maybe when I grew older, yeah, I'll have more time or I have more patience. So yeah, I decided to take vocals first. And maybe in a couple of years after that or more, I started to try clean singing. And only after that, I decided to go to a teacher, to a certain teacher, to do my clean vocals. It took me a lot of time, but not because I was not that skilled or professional, because like I found that you even if you had a teacher, you should not stuck to him or her for a long time. You every time you need to go after 2 or maybe 3 years if you're stuck somewhere, if you don't have any growth in your vocals and you decide that you're just stuck, you gotta go to another teacher. But unfortunately, I didn't do that, and yeah, we were together for too much long time, and I decided to quit and to start everything by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is my my
Yeah,
advice. Even you have a great teacher, or you don't feel that you grow in your vocals, probably you gotta go and try someone else, or maybe you can go back to your lovely teacher again. But try to get more experience with different people, because sometimes um, it's kind of puzzle. Experience is kind of puzzle. You can go take something from one, bring to another, and take it all together and grow.
exactly. Yeah. And different humans have different knowledge, right? They all have a different background, so they can give you something from here and there. And I would agree on this totally. Like, I got so many different approaches to vocals from different teachers. And yeah, but I would also say it's important to take a teacher at some point in your vocal journey, because just somebody to look at what you're doing and correct some tiny mistakes, because sometimes you don't have the ears for it, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes you don't hear it from the outside, so you need someone to look at it at least. But yeah, awesome to hear. You got so far by yourself.
yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, so apart from the vocal coaching, could you share other challenges you faced on your musical way? Are there any important lessons that you have learned from such?
Um, I think there's one big challenge that I'm always having, and last year I just realized that so so to say, when you're going to music, you gotta realize what you want from this. Do you want just self-expression? Do you want to be famous without self-expression? So you gotta realize the main aim you're in, because music and the music business, it's a struggle. It's a big struggle, especially for unsigned bands, especially
Yes.
because it takes we don't we have jobs, regular jobs. We take that money, we put money and effort, our funds, to the music we create, and due to the an example like Russian currency for the last 10 years, it becomes challenging every year, like, because our income doesn't grow much, but the currency and the economic situation make it lower. So every time, yeah, like every time when you're decided to make an album, to shoot a video, you decide, do you really want that, like, those
Yeah.
expenses, like do you really want to make this music? And if you say yes, you do it all perfectly. If you say no, I don't want to do that, I'll probably will not take this money and not do like you won't get, on example, like a good sound engineer. You won't have a good album, or um, like it doesn't work like this. An example, like for signed bands, it's much easier with the mass media, because all that work goes to the management. Like for unsigned bands, the management, an example, like I'm the management, I'm the manager, I'm the
Yeah.
singer, I'm an advertiser, I'm blah 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 blah. I have all those jobs. Like, and it's very challenging, because nowadays there are tons of music, tons of bands, and
Oh yes.
yeah, and every time you gotta go and do the best, and gotta go to make a great effort to advertise, to go out, show yourself, and do the constant work. Because like you cannot just like, okay, I'll do a great album, I'm going for gigs, whatever. But and all the management do all those beautiful stuff for you, arranging like, I don't know, video shooting, and like photo shooting. Like unsigned band do it all by themselves. So it's like, yeah, it's like another life.
Sure, and many don't have much of knowledge, right? Like they don't know about licensing or and all the legal stuff, and yeah, it's a full-time job, definitely, and you pay all these nerves and energy, time, money, just as you said. Yeah, it's you really have to have the passion for it in order to do it.
Yeah, it's yeah, the passion on the first place. If you don't have that passion, and you want to be just famous, you gotta choose another genre, another
Yeah,
genre,
true.
another management. I don't know, like find the management and be famous. Like, I don't know,
Sure. Yeah,
like
yeah.
Eilish or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very challenging. I mean, even if you want to earn money with your own music, it's much more challenging in the end as well. And you have to have a good team because your band is your team, so to speak, right?
Yeah, it's very important when the like when you're a band and you're the team at the same time, and your family and your like comrades, because everybody, yeah, without that support inside a band, nothing will go on, nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, I would agree. Totally. I had the experience many times that there wasn't really a team, so it became really challenging and it couldn't last for long.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
would agree. And another question. Are there many women in the Russian metal scene? How are they doing, and do you think that they face different experiences compared to male musicians?
Um, there are much girls out there. Yeah, we even have a full women metal bands, and like, but we're doing pretty much the same, because everything comes to the more to the economics, in our country, because we don't have really I don't really, well, I haven't heard about any good metal labels. All those metal labels or CD producers or whatever, they just disappeared. Yeah, so probably we would sign kind of a metal label out here in Russia if there were any, like the same like abroad. Probably,
Yeah,
yeah, we would think about that. Um,
sure.
but there's not such opportunity, so every band that with a female vocalist like face the same problems. But I well, I really haven't heard about any. problems with, like, like when a when the lady comes out in the band where the only guys out there. I think that like
Right.
I don't truly I don't, when a girl or a woman in the band, it seems like it become kind of family, or everyone's very supportive. I don't think that guys are pretty much like, like thinking of, oh, come on, we gotta get rid of her. Of course, it depends on the internal relationship between the members, because like everybody has different mood, everybody has different problems, and whatever. It more depends, not like on if you're a girl or a man, or a boy, or I don't know, or a man or a woman. It only becomes like what kind of person you are. You know,
Sure.
if you like, an example, I don't think that the if a person like behaves himself like a
Sure.
it doesn't depend on a gender. Nobody would like him or
That's
her.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, it all
Yeah.
depends on the person, and a character, and like and his or her character. Yeah.
That's beautiful to hear, because I had the experience that sometimes I wasn't even invited into bands because I'm a girl, and they just upfront said, no, okay, you cannot come here. Or even there was like a girlfriend of the guitarist, and the girlfriend told him, no, there can't be a girl in your band. So these kind of things happened. So that's good to hear that you don't face these differences.
Really, well, sometimes like a band has a certain vision that we do not like want a girl as a front woman, because they had a bad experience, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
Had a bad
Yeah.
experience, or they had a certain vision of their music, like we want like to hear only man growls, like, I don't know, or they feel maybe more relaxed with another guy in a band. Or there might be very much, I don't know,
Of course.
situations, but I would not feel embarrassed if they're like, no, we don't want you. I said, I don't want you too. Bye bye. It's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, like,
That's how to cope with it.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's not like you don't need to take it personally. Never,
sure,
because there are
sure. You
lots of
shouldn't.
reasons for anything, or maybe everything's for the better. Everything's for the better. You can find your best band. You know.
Yeah, and there are plenty of fish in the sea, right? Beautiful. And one last thing, I was wondering, how are you managing to be productive in three bands at once? How do you manage your time and energy?
Well, like with the pandemic situation, it became much easier, because like I'm working from home now for a year already. So like, it doesn't it I had kind of, I think, half of a day for music right now. Half of a day, like usually I worked only on weekends, and I needed to go to the rehearsal base for, no, it's about 60 kilometers from my home.
Wow.
Sometimes, yeah,
Okay.
sometimes it took about 2 hours uh, to go by the like by the underground, by the bus, by the taxi, whatever. Like, well, it took me about 2 hours only to that. So like, it took me about like the whole day to get to the rehearsal to the base, and do all the stuff that we needed. Right now, I have the opportunity to work every day from home, and like I took my usual day, working day, and after that, I have the whole evening, like the whole evening, about six,
Yay.
yeah, like about 6 or 7 hours, or whatever I can take, like for the music. Yeah, this, but it's it's challenging again. There's, yeah, because there are lots of situations that I need to, like, because when you're at home, you have not only have your work, or not just work,
Of course.
your family is
So many
around,
things.
you gotta
Yeah,
cope with some problems or with some,
yeah.
I don't know, everyone's want to have his or her time
And you
from
have to cope with yourself as well.
yeah, or sometimes I need to ask my family members like, could you please a bit quiet because I'm my demons out there. Because yeah, I'm waiting for a for a door installed in my corner because like it's a bit opened up. Oh yeah, but usually yeah, like there are different kind of challenges, but the productivity I know it's every process has its own time. I know sometimes you have days that you cannot do anything, even if you have to, because you have a song, you gotta do something. But if I don't by myself, like for myself, if I don't feel the mood or I don't feel like that I have kind of inspiration right now, I just skip it. Because, an example, on another day, eh, I know, to get some sleep, maybe get some like I don't know like eating more sweets. I don't know. Yeah, like like how women do it, like yeah.
Soul food.
Good food, good sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives like you can do much more stuff when you were in a good mood and after a good sleep and like in a good stamina. Because an example, there are some days that you just cannot do, and there's a good decision that you don't need that because you do it much more. I know like the quality will be very low of everything that you do this day. So I think
I
this is
couldn't
kind of
agree more,
advice.
yeah.
You don't need to push yourself. What especially for vocals, an example, you don't need to push because you can hurt yourself this day. You don't need to push that. Okay, relax. Like I don't know, like pay attention to something else, do something more pleasant. Or when I do that, an example, like if like in the evenings, like okay, I have so much songs, I have a pressure, some kind of pressure, because I gotta do it today and to do it with a high quality, and I get more pressed by that.
Right,
I
right.
decide, okay, like sometimes I ask guys an example, okay guys, maybe today, may I not do this today?
Yeah.
And they have full understanding about that. This is this is this is where the importance of of a team comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
they don't know, they don't push you, they don't press on you, and maybe some uh, because we're unsigned band. There's an advantage. You can do it not by the like when the manager says you. You can do it
Yeah.
when you can and when you want. This is the important. When you want this, when you really want this, not like when you feel bad, not like when you have to, because you want it. And this is when good music comes out.
Yeah. Because you're not a machine, you're a human, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes I wonder what those big bands do, which are signed, because they have to deliver on time, so they would be under a lot of pressure. So I wonder how are they coping with this, right?
yeah. I can imagine what kind of pressure they have. Even on example like Arch Enemy, they had 300 more than 300 shows a year. It's every darn day. I it's all probably when you going into you can do this because you're always in that pace. Yeah, but it really you always need to think about your stamina. But this is a good advice for everyone, even if you are not like even not signed or like you gotta have a good stamina every day because you want because when the an example like inspiration comes to you, an example like but you feel bad, you know, you always need to be ready for your recordings, for your especially vocal recordings.
Yeah, and you have to take care of yourself most of all, right? Because you are actually everything that other things circle around. So you have to take care of yourself and your soul and your energy, just as you said.
Yeah, like like all this time, like the time has changed, and nowadays all like band members should go to the gym. Just
Yeah.
exercise. It's not like that. No, when we grew up with like those like old bands, they had a lot. What was going on, like a rock star life with lots of no.
Yeah, especially as a vocalist, it's hard to smoke all the time and take whatever substances and everything. It's not good for your health, so it's not good for your voice. So for sure.
Yeah, and this time, like, I like this, not the idea, but the way of life, what now kind of like goes in the bands, in the metal bands, whatever. Like, those times, yeah, they were crazy. They were at the beginning, but time time changed.
Yeah, it changed a lot actually. Cool. So Anna, thank you so much for your time, wisdom, and energy. Could you tell our audience how they should find you and how they can support your projects and your work?
First of all, thank you, Elena, so much for your attention. Yeah, like for grabbing me out of Instagram and reaching me out. Thank you so much. Um, as for my first, like, you can find me on Instagram, Anna Hel official, or my conflict-metal.com, and probably you could reach out the my Facebook, the same Anna Hel official, and find all those links to my bands and to my music art.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to my podcast. I hope it brought new insights to you and may become food for your thoughts. If you like this episode and would like to follow me along my mission, I'd be so happy about every form of support. Rate this podcast and follow me on elenacortauri.com or on Instagram or Facebook. I would love to connect with you there. Until next time, horns up.